Analysis. Did you notice anything else missing from Mobile World Congress this year? Apart from any interesting phones, previous MWCs have been flooded by hopeful tech companies touting new wearables. The flood became a trickle, and last year Huawei and LG were the only two tech vendors left flying the flag for Android Wear smarties. This year, nothing. Qualcomm's wearable chip, Wear 2100, is now over 2 years old, and the company is in no rush to update it. Apple has introduced 2 generations of wearable chips and Watch 3 flies while Wear S crawl. Of all Google's ventures, this is the most catastrophic since Google, but at least Google still has a handful of users. Google had continued to make regular minor improvements to Wear, which since 2.0 is no longer tethered to the phone to get apps. But Google saw which way the wind was blowing and began to target brands. Perhaps noticing that only men ever seem to wear an Apple Watch, it began to target brands, particularly fashion brands. So Wears are not hard to find, they're just unremarkable fashion items. Fitbit's Ionic. Mostly sad. The failure of the wearables segment reflects badly on an industry that flings technology it thinks is cool at the market that nobody actually wants. Just like personalized anything, or consumer IoT kit, wearables were always a solution looking for a problem. By marketing Wear at brands, Google wasn't trying to answer that question at all, it was avoiding it. So who's left? It's now a 2-horse race, 3 if you're generous. The 2 are Apple, obviously, and Fitbit, with Samsung hanging in there for now. Fitbit's challenge as a business has been to move up market as the technology becomes commoditized, with £30 Chinese fitness bands supplanting the £120 Fitbit models. The most obvious way to do this is making the band smarter, and do a bit more, and the obvious way to do that is make a useful but still a good fitness tracker and health monitor. Fitbit has the software side, the app and dashboards, and integration with other services worked out very nicely. But the hardware is proving to be the problem. Last year, Fitbit marketed its Ionic as its first smart, it's really its fourth, and the device won praise for its 4-day battery life, and outstanding biometrics. Unlike an Android Wear, which can add 50% to your day's footsteps, Fitbit gear is fairly accurate. However, the Ionic's rotten performance was also widely noted in reviews, and the stark design is a matter of taste. You either hate it, or, get used to it, it seems. This week on Fitbit's earnings call, executives promised to make a cheaper and better-looking successor to Ionic. And, lo and behold, in an amazing coincidence, renders of such a smart turned up at the Wearable blog the next day. It apparently lacks GPS but looks a lot like the Apple Watch, i.e. much less sci-fi. It's a daunting challenge even to be number 2 in this desolate market. But Fitbit should be confident in one respect. If there's one lesson to be learned, it's that apps don't really matter. Apps on the wrist are slow, painful and tedious to use. An app gap didn't stop Samsung's Tizen-based S gaining small but respectable sales, it outsold all of Google's Wear at one point last year. It might not hinder Fitbit, if the Ionic successor can handle notifications well. Notifications and fitness, and maybe payments. That's all a smart is ever really used for. Aren't finding your phone. The question now is, if that's all a smart does, is it worth paying £250 for? iPhone owners already in the ecosystem are well-heeled types inclined to spend more. Android owners might look to that £30 thing to provide exactly the same features. Registered signed sponsored Minds Mastering Machines. Call for PayPal is now open.